Hello everybody, Abram here. Today I'm going to be talking about the Lumi method. This is part one of a series of videos I'm going to be making covering this topic. My intention with these videos is going to be creating a bit of a discussion around the tools that Lumi presents with his book, and talking about the applications of the concepts presented in this book. There's plenty of videos out there covering the method itself, and the best source for it is going to be the actual book anyway. So instead of just showing you the step-by-step, I think I'm going to be following the book myself, then showing you how I do the exercises, and talking about what I learned and sharing certain ideas that may generate once I am applying these concepts to original pieces. So in a way, it's going to be a little bit of a discussion between us as students of the Lumi method, and you will see more of an insight into what it all means once you're actually applying it. Okay, so let's jump right in. Now, Andrew Loomis begins by telling us that nobody is the same. Each one of us has a different bone structure, different body fat percentage, different fat distribution, muscle insertions, etc., etc. So this is important to keep in mind when thinking about learning proportions, learning different ways to apply construction to your drawings, because you need to keep in mind that perfect, quote-unquote, perfect proportions don't really exist in nature, in real life. So it would all depend on your own aesthetic sensibilities, your culture, your race. All those things play a part, you know. And one big mistake I made the first time I learned the Lumi method was saying, okay, so I just divide the head in 3 parts and that's it, right? That's not really it, you know. If you do this, you'll end up drawing the same face over and over and over again, you know. And furthermore, you should always be mindful about how you draw people, because that will reveal things about yourself. I read this book Da Vinci wrote about drawing, and he mentioned something interesting, which is that if you have a big nose, you'll have a tendency to draw big noses. If you have rough, manly hands, it might be slightly more difficult for you to draw women's delicate, petite hands. So all of these things will be an influence when applying construction, when generating abstractions of reality with your drawings, you know. And you want to have as much control as possible and to be as mindful as possible. So don't just apply some formula, even if it is the Lumi method, you know, you don't just apply it. Lumi presents us his method as a form of navigation through the structure of the head. This is a guide. So always think of it that way. After that, Lumi will present us a classic sphere model with flat sides and the 3 divisions for the facial features. And he mentions something interesting here, which is that you might be using this form of abstraction for the rest of your life. And he's right. Maybe not exactly the same, but definitely a version of it. It is so versatile, so helpful, and it feels very natural once you learn it. Right after that, he applies a simplified bone structure to the sphere and the basic model, which consists of the cheekbones and the jaw. Now, you might have seen me applying this basic bone structure to the drawings I was making in the beginning of this video. And you can do that as well. You can copy his drawings as they are, or you can use the other concepts he presents and use them on these drawings, on those same drawings. And in my opinion, this is a 2 birds, 1 stone sort of thing, so I prefer to practice this way. It saves time. Now, let's always apply these concepts to an original piece or a drawing from life. I believe this part of the book has enough information to do that. So don't overwhelm yourself studying too many concepts at once. Remember, quality over quantity. As you can see, I made a portrait from imagination here using the method, and he looks a bit like Charles Bronson maybe, also a bit like Pedro Pascal, but it is just a character from imagination. Which again goes to show your influences, what you see, what you like, the movies that you watch and the shows that you watch. It all has an indirect influence on your artworks. And so even if I'm applying the Lumi method here, you can see it is very different from the paintings that Andrew Loomis makes. And that's fine, because I'm not trying to be like him. I'm just using his knowledge to enrich my practice. Okay, so that's about it for today. I hope you liked the video. I hope you got something useful out of it. And I'll be covering plane construction next week, still following the same textbook, so stay tuned for that. I'll also leave a link to an Amazon page on which you'll be able to purchase this book. But I'm sure you can get it for free somewhere. Just don't tell anyone it was my idea. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to keep on drawing. Ciao.